Welcome back to Media Mesh, where I give you my unapologetic opinion on everything from music, movies, news, reality TV, and much more as we go down the rabbit hole, all in 5 minutes or less. Now, number one, shout out to all the new subscribers here at Media Mesh. Greatly appreciate it. You have to keep in mind, this is about the intelligent dissection of social media. This is not for clickbait. That being said, this is not for everyone. If your mind is already closed, and if you know all the answers, then by all means, you can please exit. But for those of us who are willing to go down the rabbit hole, willing to keep an open mind and explore different scenarios, because again, this is all alleged, right? This is just a point of view, just an observation, as I would say. Okay, I wasn't there. But what we're going to get into today is something that is not alleged. We're going to talk about Mr. Kanye West because he admits his mother was sacrificed and so were many others. He drops names. Dr. Dre, his son. Bill Cosby, his son. Michael Jordan, his father. These are all alleged. But what's not alleged here is what Kanye said himself about his mother. A lot of people have already speculated that. A lot of people already knew this. This is nothing new. So for those who have come and watched the last video I did on Quavo, and they think it's so far-fetched, they think it's impossible, here is proof right here. Now, he is capping, or he's telling you the truth. It's kind of smart and it's kind of dangerous at the same time. Because on one hand, if anything should happen to him, we know who did it. He already exposed the Jays, as I call them, who run Hollywood, who shutting him down because he won't shut up. Most of these other guys out here, these black celebrities, have shut up. They're taking their check. They're getting their money and they're keeping it quiet. He's speaking out, so I commend him on that. You should also check out the videos I did on Kanye in the playlist. I did about 6 videos on him because from my perspective, you can't receive from the devil and then get mad when the devil comes to collect. It's all well and good when you winning, right? So you really can't complain when they start coming at you. But I think his conscience is getting to him. That's why he had such a hard time when his mother passed. We'll just say passed. But according to him, she was sacrificed. That's something to think about. How bad do you want success? How bad do you want money, fame, and notoriety? And I guess from a lot of these guys' perspective, they're like, hey, well, we all got to die sometime. But if I can benefit from them dying, why not? A very sad state of affairs. But you can tell Kanye does not care at this point. So this might be keeping him alive because he's been so forthright with this. And he's still worth $400 million. He's not a billionaire, but he won't be working at Target anytime soon. So from his perspective, I might as well just tell it all. And that's that Gemini in him. I'm also a Gemini, right? So the Geminis, when things are wrong, we have a tendency to really fight against the grain because it just burns you up. And it's burning him up. He has to tell it. To his detriment, he's telling it. But I commend that. Most people will go to their grave with secrets, a lot of deception, and he's just refusing to be one of those people. So I don't know what's next for Kanye. But shout out to him for having the balls to come out and tell it like it is. So again, for all the people who watched the Quavo video, thank you. The majority of people agree. And there's a lot of very enlightened people in the comments who have told me different things that I didn't even see in the video. So I don't profess to know it all or have it all. So this is a community right here. The key is, I remember when I wanted to be in the music business. When I first time going to Hollywood, met a lot of people, seen a lot of things. And it was at that point I realized it wasn't just about music. When you're young, you have a dream, you can sing, rap, make beats, whatever you do. You think it's just that simple. All I got to do is get in front of the right people, wait till people hear my music, and then they're going to want to work with me. That's not the case. Yes, you do have to have some talent, but it really is a matter of who knows you. And the question becomes, why should we let you on the world stage? How do we benefit? We can find a rapper, a singer, they're a dime a dozen. You can go to any church on any given Sunday and find some of the best singers in the world. Give them a record deal, get the right producers, the right songs together, and you have a chance at having a hit. So if it was just that simple, if it was just about talent, then so many more people would be put on. So again, the question becomes, what are you willing to do? For us to give you this platform. The Bible says, and I'm not preaching to y'all, because everybody got their opinion on the Bible. But what will a man give in exchange for his soul? So if you don't believe there's a literal God and a literal devil, I guess we'll all find out when we get to the other side. But apparently there must be something to this situation. There's got to be something to it. Because a lot of people have admitted to selling their soul. Katy Perry out of her own mouth. Kanye West out of his own mouth. Numerous other people have talked about selling their soul to the devil. And some people say it's just as simple as signing a contract. And now you're selling your soul if you're doing something that you wouldn't normally do that compromises your values and morals. But who's to say it's not something more sinister? Who's to say? But again, I think it's a sad day for Kanye to be willing to let his mother fall victim to this industry so that he can blow up and become famous and rich. And so I think, again, because of all of that, he has time to look back on his life and he's just coming straight out with it. So, I could never do that. But you have to keep in mind, these are very driven people. Kanye became a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire if you don't have any type of drive and be willing to do whatever it is. Just like Steve Jobs. He has a movie on Netflix. He denied his firstborn daughter. Why? Because he was so driven to make sure that Apple took off, he couldn't allow for any distractions. So he was willing to deny his own flesh and blood so that he can devote all his time to developing his business. So this is obviously not for the weak. This is for people who just must win at all cost. They must be a millionaire, billionaire. They need to have all the money, the success and fame and notoriety. They will stop at nothing less. So when I did that video on Quavo, that is just my opinion. I could be wrong as the day is long, but I could be right. This is all alleged. So that's just my unapologetic opinion. And you have to keep in mind, I don't want these things to be true, but I'm just wise enough to know that evil takes place in this world in which we live. Like, I hope I'm talking to grown people. If you have lived enough life, if you're over 30, 40 years old, you've seen some evil, wicked stuff. So why would you put it past people because you like their music? Because you're a fan of their music? What is that? Like, you don't know these people? You don't know what these people are capable of. You don't know what's required of them when they get these record deals. You have no idea. And why? Because they don't talk. You got one person right here on this screen that's talking about it. Now, you could say, oh, he's capping, or he's just making up stuff. Or he could be telling you the truth right in your face. So take it or leave it. But this is not about clickbait. I'm just talking to a certain group of people. This message is not going to be received for everybody. Some people want to stay asleep. Some people want to hope for the best when it comes to their favorite artists. You know, you are grown, okay? These are people. We all are capable of doing anything. It just depends on the motivation. So stop thinking that people are thinking what people won't do. You're putting people on pedestals. We're making idols of people. All they do is make music, and that's not an easy feat, right? To make a song that people like, because if that was the case, everybody would have hits. So it's not easy. I'm not taking away the talent from these people. What I am saying, though, is that because this industry is so wicked, they have had to acclimate themselves to the lifestyle that goes along with this industry. So it's really sad that you just can't be talented and put out good music and have good people work behind you and help you, showcase your talent with the world without such a heavy price. But what's even worse is the fact that a lot of people accept it. They do what's necessary to get that deal. And this goes from basketball to the movies to the music, whatever it is. If you want that space on the world stage, you got to pay to play, baby. It's simple and plain.